Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to WWE News Log. That's a wrestling news log. I keep forgetting to fix that. So force a habit. But in this case, I think it is WWE News Log because I don't believe I have any non-WWE news this week. So I think the title remains accurate for this week. Yeah, there's only there's one minor story that is not directly WWE related, but other than that, WWE News Log.
All right.
By the way, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention. I know it's only the second week we've done this, but I don't know if you're watching down below there. I'm doing a thing. Did you notice?
Let's see. You're doing a thing. No. I see no thing.
It's the title down in the corner. I'm giving each of the news logs a witty title based on a news story of the week.
Okay, well, I can't see the title, so.
Yes, you can. It's in the bottom right.
The bottom right is you and me.
No, below that.
I don't see.
You don't have the bar below that says the name of the video.
New, not that I see.
I mean, I know in my case it has the start and stop button on it, but it also has that. I thought you had the bar just without the button.
No.
No, fair enough. Well, I'm giving each of the news logs a witty title. I thought that would be entertaining.
Fair. Yeah, no, I don't see anything, but
fair enough.
So is that what you're going to name? Put in the file name, the description name?
What do you mean?
On YouTube.
Yeah, that's automatically the YouTube video title. Yes.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
That's how that works.
So what's the witty name?
Well, this week it's John and Nikki have seen enough of each other.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, I thought that would be a fun thing. I wanted to do that with the recaps, but it never really came to fruition. So I figured I'd do it with this.
Fair.
Yeah, you might have also seen last week's was just generic. Last week's was just WrestleMania Fallout, but I'm going to try to be witty going forward. We'll see how that pans out.
Fair.
All right. Close this out. So let's talk the news. I will save the top story for the end. Well, given that we're just doing news now, you think I should do the top story at the top? Would that make more sense?
Nah, just do it at the end.
All right. We have a number of big stories this week. Where do we want to start? I don't know. Jeff, pick a number between 1 and 11.
5.
Going number 5. Well, that's one of the big ones. Okay.
Oh.
That's fine. We'll start with that. We'll start with the big story and end with the big story. That works.
All right.
So let's start off by talking a little bit about the greatest Royal Rumble.
Okay.
There's a lot of news surrounding the greatest Royal Rumble this week. For those who may have been living under a rock, wow. Missed that. Okay. Completely random, unrelated news thing. I just see reported that apparently Kim Jong-un has announced that he will be ending his country's nuclear testing.
Okay.
Cool, but I'll believe it when I see it. But anyway, this is cool. Let's start off with this view image. Here we go. So I'll put this up here on the screen.
Right.
First thing, the greatest Royal Rumble. Of course, the main event of the greatest Royal Rumble will be the greatest Royal Rumble match. A 50-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And people have been wondering, do you get something out of this?
Yeah, the reward for it. I've been wondering that too.
There is a reward for it, sort of.
Oh, okay.
And that reward, as you can see here in this image, surrounding this, is this lovely trophy.
Okay, these trophies are going to start being meaningless if they keep handing them out like fucking popcorn. Jesus Christ. You have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy with Andre the Giant on it. You have the really shitty-ass looking women's one, and now you're doing one for this? Like, really?
Yes, really.
That seems rather shitty.
Well, it's a trophy. Admittedly, this is a nicer trophy than the other two, I think.
It's definitely a nicer trophy than the women's one. I mean, come on, the Andre trophy has fucking Andre on it. I think that's pretty cool.
That's true. As a manager. Well, give them credit for the women's trophy. They had to design a trophy at the 11th hour because their Mae Young trophy got thrown out. Not their Mae Young, their Moolah trophy got thrown out.
Yeah.
So give them credit on that one, even though it's going to tell they didn't have a lot of time to design it. But yes, so that trophy will be available to the winner of the greatest Royal Rumble match.
Which means the person winning it is going to be someone who's not going anywhere in WWE because their entire shtick is going to be flaunting the trophy.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Dude, whenever a trophy is involved, someone of non-consequence usually wins the event.
They'll give it to Finn Balor.
Although Matt Hardy did win this last one, but he has so much fame and popularity at this point that not even that like derails him.
Yep. All right, what else? More greatest. A lot of interesting stuff about the greatest Royal Rumble this week, in addition to just the trophy. There's apparently some problems.
Yeah, like the fact that they can't fucking decide who's going to face the damn Undertaker.
Yes, that's true, Rusev. Nobody's entirely sure why the swapping was going on. Supposedly it's just booking ideas, but apparently the Rusev Taker match is back on. However, Chris Jericho will be there. He will be one of the combatants in the 50-man Royal Rumble.
Which is where he was originally announced.
Yes.
What I heard about the Rusev thing is, and take this with a grain of salt, it has not been confirmed, but WWE was kind of pissed at Rusev and Lana for the interview thing they did, where Rusev said he was like they were going to retire his old ass and shit like that. And of course Michelle McCool replying to it didn't help. But then Michelle McCool like actually confirmed, "Wow, you guys have your panties in a bunch. What the fuck? It's called K-fob, you fucking idiots." And when that says a lot when even WWE doesn't realize when something's a goddamn work. And they're like, "Oh, that's okay. Yeah, face him."
That could be. Fair enough.
But I'm like, really? How does WWE not know when something's a work?
I don't know, but good luck to Rusev.
Indeed.
That'll be cool. But even Chris Jericho was very cool about it. Chris Jericho did an interview, and I like what he said. He said, you know, one thing I've learned at this point in my career, it's an honor to just be part of these kind of events. It doesn't matter what I do at the event. It doesn't matter if I face it doesn't matter if I'm in the Rumble match, if I face the Undertaker, if I'm facing Funaki in a lingerie match. It doesn't matter. It's an honor to just be part of the event and to be able to participate. And I'm like, that's good of you, Jericho. That's very cool. But was you and Funaki in a lingerie match an option? Because anyway, so there's other problems going on. Let me ask you this question. How much do you know about the country of Saudi Arabia?
Not much, except I know where it is, and I know women aren't allowed to do shit.
Yes, and there are other rules specifically in regards to genders, and it's causing a problem with the ticket sales. It's a twofold issue.
Oh, okay, well, this makes a little more sense.
What?
Apparently, according to Ryan Satin, WWE had nothing to do with that TMZ interview where Rusev said the shit. But it was apparently supposed to be used as a setup for Total Divas, which is why Michelle McCool replied to it. But because Vince and WWE creative had no idea what was going on, they had to assume it wasn't work when Michelle McCool replied. Until Michelle McCool came and said, "It's a goddamn work, people. Chill the fuck out." That's when Vince went, "Oh." So, yeah.
Fair enough.
The K-fob reason is Lana saying, "I changed my mind. I want my husband to fight The Undertaker."
Yep. Yeah. Saw that tweet.
Yeah, so that's the reported reason of what's been going on, because Vince deciding, I don't really care about this other shit, let it go on, didn't realize, oh, this is for that other shit that I don't care about.
Yep.
So, yeah, Vince has done that himself.
Fair enough.
Anyway, continue on.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I don't know if you know this. This is a little lesson about foreign countries for you folks.
Yeah.
In the nation of Saudi Arabia, and by the way, if you want to learn all about this, by the way, I encourage everybody to go out and watch the American Dad episode, Stan of Arabia. It's a two-parter. It's a great episode, and it both teaches about all the things that by American standards we would consider wrong about Saudi Arabia, and ends with Francine singing a song about it.
Okay.
Let's check that two-parter out. It's great. Anyway, there are a lot of things specifically regarding gender and what women can and cannot do in Saudi Arabia, which is why none of the women will be on the card, as has been stated in the past. However, they also have very strict rules about public events like this.
Okay.
Specifically, a rule stating that single men are not allowed to sit near women.
Okay.
In public events like this, which is wreaking havoc on the ticket sales and the seating arrangement. While WWE is pushing the Greatest Royal Rumble as one of the biggest shows of the year, it has not come without controversy. The first, of course, is the females not competing. The second issue now coming to the forefront is complications in buying tickets. The country's rules forbid women from attending the event unless they're accompanied by a man, which is true. Women cannot go out and do things without a man. And any single men interested in buying tickets have to be seated in a section far away from the women and families. Furthermore, you're apparently not even able to select your exact seats. They'll only be assigned shortly before the event begins.
So question, what if I go with my parents? Are they going to force me to sit away from my parents? That's fucking bullshit.
Well, then you would be with a family, and that would be okay.
But I would be a single man sitting next to a married woman.
Yes, but if it's your mother and she's with your father, then you're okay, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway,
so I wouldn't even be able to accompany my mother straight up. That's kind of, again, bullshit.
Well, I said if you were accompanying your mother and your father was with you, you would be considered part of a family, and you would be allowed to do that, I think.
Fair.
But anyway, in a follow-up to these seating complications, the Saudi Stadium has a capacity of 62,000 seats. About 52,000 of which will be available because some of it's going to be the stage and shit.
Right.
Apparently, all the top seats, the ones that are actually, ringside floor seats, are reserved for families because that's the look that they want to get across on TV. The Saudi government wants that, and so the only way to get good seats is to be with a family, and that has to include at least one woman. Single men, either on their own or in groups of single men, are forced to sit in the nosebleeds.
Oh, that's bullshit.
They were only allocated approximately 10,000 seats out of the 52,000 that are available, which has led to many guys being vocal about not being able to get tickets, even though there's still a ton left unsold. There's also speculation the show's not going to come across as that hot because single dudes tend to be the ones that kick up chants and are active in terms of the audience at WWE events. And if they're all in the nosebleeds at the back, you're not going to hear them on TV.
This is true. And especially with the whole John Cena and Nikki Bella breakup, don't expect John Cena to be hot shit over there either.
Yeah.
Which, there goes your family demographic.
Yeah. Anyway, for those wondering why it has to happen, it's a cultural thing where there's a limited to no mixing of males and females, including in restaurants, parks, and arenas, so much that there are at times separate entrances and seating areas at these places. After complaints and concerns, changes are or were expected to be made since much of the arena remains unsold.
And the Saudi government's fucking idiotic for not realizing this was going to happen.
Well, it's how their country functions. I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately.
Well, maybe it's time to get into the 21st century.
Well, good luck. We'll go ahead and we'll show this if I can. Can I not? Okay, I guess I'll just do this then. This is just a mock-up. This is not the actual thing, but this is a sample. This is what the Greatest Royal Rumble stage setup will look like.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a sample there. So you got the nice little arch there. So that'll be the general stage setup. So I've seen this correctly. It looks like they're going to have the stage set up over there, and then they're going to have to walk to their right in order to come to the ramp, which you see at the bottom of the picture there.
Wait, it's like that white thing is the ramp?
No. The ramp is down here. See this, the dark gray down here?
I can't see your mouse, dude.
Oh, look at the bottom of the picture.
Yeah.
See how the gray, see there's the white part on the right, but then the gray curves around into a strip at the bottom?
So it's the S-curve gray part.
Yeah, because you see where the arch is under the cranes, that's the stage where they'll come out, but they're going to follow the dark gray part around and go down that other dark gray part to get, I think that's going to be the ramp to get to the arena. Whereas the audience will be sitting on the lighter gray part.
I mean on the white.
Yeah, white, light gray, whatever.
That seems like a really bad setup. Why would you have the ramp not in the center of the stage?
I don't know. Like I said, I could be completely wrong about that. That's just how it looks to me right now based on this setup.
It's a really bad setup if that's the case.
I think they have to accommodate for, I mean, sometimes this happens at certain events where they have to accommodate for where the doors in the arena are. They need to set it up in such a way where they have enough room for it, but they're still, depending on where they have to put the ring and still be able to have floor seats, it can be an issue. Oh, you can see there's another design, and it does look like there's a ramp down the front, so maybe they just haven't set up the full ramp yet, and I'm just mistaken about how that's going to work. Because in this design, you can kind of see that there is a...
So I would also put to you, in a WWE event, do you really want the fucking crowd between the stage and the ring? Is that really the best place to put fans?
I don't know. But like I said, it looks like that might be, the design might be a little bit different, so... I think it's just incomplete. It was hard to tell.
Fair.
But yeah, so we'll have to see what happens with the seating arrangement there, if the Saudi Arabia traditions will be broken for the sake of selling seats or not.
Yeah, and I would say, especially if the people on the floor are supposed to be families. Do you really want families between the stage and the ring? That sounds really fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, we will see if the tradition breaks and how they get that sorted out. To your point, if I'm thinking about it, I think you would not go with your parents because in Saudi Arabia, that's not a thing.
Oh.
In Saudi Arabia, at a certain age, you are, I think, basically expected by, it is, you will be basically taboo looked down upon if you were not moved out of your parents' house by a certain age.
Just because I show up at an event with my parents doesn't mean I live with them. What the hell?
No, but in that kind of an instance, as a solo man, it would be expected that you would either be single or that you would have a wife and children of your own already.
What if I show up with my sister?
It's debatable because the thing is, you might get away with that. I don't know, because I know the rules over there is that the way it's set up in their tradition is that the woman is specifically assigned to the custodialship of a specific man, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, it is her father by default. When she gets married, it becomes her husband. And now, if her father dies and she is not married, then it can get assigned to another male relative, such as a brother. So if she was assigned to you as a custodialship, then that would constitute a family, and you could sit in the family area. But if she is under the custodialship of her father or another relative at the time, she would have to be accompanied by that relative, and you would have to attend as a single male, as I understand it.
Which is bullshit, because I'd be like, well, I want to sit with my family. Fuck you.
Except that's not how it works in Saudi Arabia, and nobody in Saudi Arabia would ever expect that.
That seems really backwards and stupid, but okay.
It's a different country. It's a different tradition. It's how it's always been there. That's just how it is. Women just generally don't have a lot of rights there. It's just the way it is.
Oh, I'm not asking for women's rights over there, although it would be nice. I'm just asking for fucking common sense. Like, let me be with my fucking family. It's like, okay, you guys don't have any fucking sense of family. Fuck you. That's stupid. Basically, the government is forcing families apart. And I'm like, what the hell? In what world is that a good idea?
No, because you have to realize, once you go out as a single male, you're not considered part of that family unit anymore.
Yeah.
It's less about blood relation and more about what they consider to be a legal family unit. So once you're out as a single male, yes, you're still related, but you're not directly part of that family unit anymore. You would be considered a single male once you reach a certain age and are out of the house, and therefore, you would not be legally permitted to be in the family.
And you just lost all audio. I have no idea what you're saying.
Once you're out of the house at that age, you could not sit in the family because you would be near women, and that's considered improprietal. It's about it could potentially encourage cheating and affairs and things, so they won't do it. That's why single men are not allowed to be near women. That's why even if once you're out of the household, you are no longer considered part of that direct family unit, so you would not be able to sit in that area. And now you understand why all the single guys are pissed off in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I do, but it still doesn't make sense because their entire reasoning for this is inherently flawed. It makes no sense.
But it does.
No, because, okay, you want them away, single women away from single men. So what if daughter accompanied by father goes in, another familial unit of son accompanied by mother, all of a sudden you have a single woman sitting next to single male? What the fuck? It's flawed. It doesn't solve the problem they're thinking it's solving.
But it does. Jeff, you can't approach the problem with your Western sense of how family works.
I'm just saying if that situation happens, because you said they have to go with the custodial guardian or parent. Fair enough. If they do that, you're still going to potentially have single females and single males sitting next to each other. You're not going to escape that. They may be younger, yes, but they're still going to be single and therefore could still, do exactly what they're trying to stop from doing. All I'm saying is they're not solving the problem. They're creating another problem by trying to do it.
But they're not, because this is how it's always worked there. It's already set up to work this way. At every public event in Saudi Arabia for decades, if not centuries, it has worked this way. They've made it work. That's why I'm saying you have to realize there is a point where, I'm sure there are specific rules regarding, okay, if a son who has custodialship of his mother shows up, how does that work? It may not be permitted. I don't know. But I know there are rules for all those situations. Because the rules are different for women and men. And, women have to be under a custodialship. But once a man is out of the house, he is no longer part of that family unit. And more likely than not, it would be considered taboo. It would be considered improper for a man to show up at that event with his mother, even if he had custodialship with her. Because if he is a single man, he would know full well that would not provide a section for them in which to sit. And therefore, he would have to attend without her. So it's those kind of things that they know the rules inherently, what they can and cannot do in order to adhere to the rules. And sometimes there's shit like that where I want to go to my mother. Well, you just can't do that. It's just not allowed.
Then they should flip where the people are.
You would think, except they're not going to do that because they want the families to be seen on TV to project a good, wholesome image of Saudi Arabia. The government is not going to allow a bunch of rowdy single dudes in America is going to go terrorists to be on TV. They're not going to do that.
So instead, they're just going to, number one, it's not going to be on TV. It's going to be on the WWE network. But number two, they're going to allow an empty arena to be showed, is what you're saying.
It's on the network here. It's probably on TV there and other countries.
Fair enough. But my point still stands. They're willing to allow an empty arena to be shown because the ground arena is going to be fucking empty.
Well, that's why they said they're in the process of making some changes and adjustments to make this work. So maybe what they do is they set the first however many rows to be the families, and then they set some remaining ground rows with a space in between to be single guys or something. I'm sure they could work it out as long as the sections are considered separate by their standard. It depends on what the required separation is.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Oh, I gotta turn that off. Okay, moving on. So yeah, the issues with the Greatest Royal Rumble, but hopefully these can all be worked out. Pick another number.
1.
Not 1. That's Cena Bella. We're saving that for the end.
2.
Very well. Well, we already kind of covered 2, so we might as well. As mentioned, Taker Rusev is back on.
Yep.
So, Lana put out some tweets noting that after much thought, I've notified WWE I've changed my mind. Rusev will celebrate Rusev Day by burying The Undertaker in the sands of Saudi Arabia and win the casket match.
Mm-hmm.
So So the casket match is back on. Good luck to Rusev. Make another number.
7.
7. This is the one non-WWE story.
Okay.
Let me ask, do you know who Tyrus is?
The Funkasaurus?
Yes.
No.
Tyrus has officially resigned his post with Impact Wrestling.
Not surprising.
He wrote the following on his Instagram, hashtag Tyrus Smash. 2014 to 2018, I have been a part of Impact Wrestling, worked with a lot of good people, and for the most part, enjoyed my time. Having said that, as I've grown, change is good, and there's definitely been a lot of changes. And today, after much contemplation, it is time for me to move on from Impact.
Now I want him to cut a promo just like that. That'd be hilarious.
Creatively, we just don't see eye to eye on anything, and I beat at the real EC3, so I'm good. I wish them well in their future endeavors. Hashtag enough said.
Dude, man, he needed to make this a video like promo. Just cut a promo against Impact. That would have been awesome.
We attach that to his Instagram with a photo.
And there goes your audio again.
Anyway.
Attached with what?
And with a photo of him performing what looks like a suplex on some dude. I'm assuming it's at the real EC3 since he referenced him.
Yeah. But it's probably Mr. NXT. Yep.
Yep. So maybe we'll see the Funkasaurus back in WWE at some point. Pick another number.
Hopefully not as the Funkasaurus.
I like the Funkasaurus. That was a great character.
I do too, but I think he deserves better.
That's fair. Anyway.
Number 10.
All right. This is interesting. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Davey Boy Smith?
Yeah.
Jr.
I don't know.
Also known as Harry Smith. You might remember him from his WWE tenure as D.H. Smith, partner of Tyson Kidd.
Yes.
Of course, the son of the legendary British Bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
There's a warrant out for his arrest by the New Orleans police.
I did see that, yeah.
Did you read the details?
No, I just saw the headline.
Okay. So what happened, I think I read this to you, but anyway. So what happened, he is wanted by police in New Orleans on battery charges as a result of an incident that occurred during WrestleMania weekend. There was a battery incident that occurred on April 7th in the 500 block of Canal Street at a given location. At about 11 a.m., Jake the Snake Roberts, you might know him, was signing autographs at the location in question. And he was approached by a known subject, later identified as Harry Smith. The victim told police that he attempted to shake hands with Smith, at which time a verbal argument ensued. Smith then allegedly threw a cup of scalding hot coffee in Jake Roberts' face and then fled the scene.
Okay, then.
No major injuries were reported.
So the coffee missed.
No, the coffee hit him. It wasn't, it burned like hell, but it doesn't really cause an injury. First, Smith does not deny throwing coffee in Roberts' face, but he described the circumstances leading up differently, saying that Roberts apparently made some negative comments about his father, the British Bulldog, and refused to apologize for said comments, and also refused to step outside to settle their differences in a fight. Smith
he tried to pick a fight with an old man. Good job, Harry.
Roberts apparently told him to fuck off at that point, which is when he threw coffee in his face.
Okay, Harry, you realize you didn't make things better for yourself. You made things worse.
He further stated that after this, Jake Roberts' daughter tried to start a fight with him, and he called the father-daughter behavior inappropriate.
Yes, because throwing scalding hot coffee in someone's face is totally appropriate. You motherfucker! You have failed! You get nothing! Good day, sir! My God, how much of an idiot can this guy be?
I don't know.
But you agree, right? He just made his case worse.
Yeah, kind of. So that is where we are at with that right now. So we will report on that again later if we get more details.
I'll also say he's lucky DDP wasn't there with Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Because he would have ate a diamond cutter right then and there.
Well, DDP was at the Hall of Fame ceremony. He was shown on tape because Goldberg talked to him.
Fair.
Anyway, pick a number.
What's left?
Not one, but 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 11.
4.
4. This is a minor story, but something worth noting. Apparently, we've gotten over ourselves.
Okay. As
was noted by both comments and back on his profile page, that Apollo has now regained his last name of Cruz.
You're going to have to make that change on the roster.
Yeah. I don't think I ever deleted it, actually.
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, I'll put it back. Anyway, yeah, so the Cruz has been returned. It's worth noting that they've modified his profile page, adding that back in, and commentators have been using it on the air. And so it's assumed that now that the incident in Parkland has begun to fade for the public news cycle a little bit, that they're okay with having him called Apollo Cruz again.
Fair.
So Apollo Cruz is now Apollo Cruz once again. Pick a number.
8.
Let's talk a little bit about the Viper.
Okay, what about the Viper?
The Viper's tattoo artist is suing the WWE.
For what?
For putting her artistic design of Orton's tattoo in the video game without permission.
Okay.
Apparently you can do that.
But doesn't her putting it on Orton's body constitute permission?
I don't know.
It's not like she owns the right to that tattoo. It's not like she's trademarked it like CM Punk's Pepsi tattoo, because that's a company fucking logo. That's a trademark.
Yeah, I don't know, though, because, like I said, it's a question of art. It's just, does an artist own their art? An Illinois tattoo artist by the name of Catherine Alexander says that the sleeve and upper back tattoos that she drew for Randy Orton, a 13-time world champion, were copied in WWE video games and WWE products, according to the complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Illinois. She said she contacted WWE in 2009 about Orton's tattoos being reproduced on products sold by WWE. The company offered her $450 for the rights to use and reproduce the tattoo designs, and she declined the offer. She told WWE she did not give them permission to copy, duplicate, or otherwise use or reproduce any of her designs. WWE did not respond for comment. 6 years later, WWE released 2K16 that featured Orton's tattoos in detail. According to the lawsuit, the same reproductions were shown in 17 and 18. The lawsuit says that WWE, and that she's suing WWE and 2K, by the way.
Good luck with that. Vince has more money than you do.
The lawsuit says WWE and the video game company should have known the tattoos were Alexander's works and that she owned the copyright to the design.
Oh, well, she owns the copyright to the design. That's another story.
That's what she's alleging she does anyway.
If she does, that's fine. I still put to you, do you have enough money to make it stick? Because I guarantee you Vince has way more money than you do, honey.
I don't know. Alexander is suing Take-Two Interactive, 2K Games Incorporated, 2K Sports Incorporated, Visual Concepts Entertainment, Ukes Co. Ltd., and Ukes LA Incorporated.
I will say I don't think she's going to get anywhere with the developer, because I'm pretty sure the developer basically has to assume that anything WWE gives them, they have the right for.
Which is fair.
Right? And I think that would hold them for a long time. It's like, well, if Vince McMahon from the WWE is telling us you're going to use this, we have to assume he's got the right for it, because Vince McMahon's the kind of guy who won't use anything unless he has the rights to it. We're not going to go out after, we don't have the money or the resources to go out after every single little thing, especially in something like WWE that comes across our table, just to make sure all the right, WWE has all the rights to everything. That We never get the game made if we did that.
It's true.
So we have to trust WWE, and if they fucked up, go after them. Don't come to us. Ain't our fault. We're just doing what we're told.
Well, she's suing WWE and all those companies, so we'll see which ones are considered legally liable and which ones are not, I suppose.
It should be only WWE, if any of them.
No, we'll see. Anyway, pick a number. 3, 6, 9, and 11.
We have 11?
Yes.
3.
Well, 3 is kind of minimal. We're going to be talking about this more tomorrow night.
Okay.
But we can discuss this just a little bit since I happen to have it here. That's not even... Well, you fail. Okay, that's not helpful in any way.
Okay, then.
That is not all useful. Let me see if I can find another one real quick. Number 3 is the Superstar Shakeup.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to talk a little bit about the moving of the superstars.
Well, there were quite a few surprises. I think I got shafted in terms of Raw superstars, but...
Indeed. Superstars that are now on Monday Night Raw include Jinder Mahal and Sunil Singh. The Riot Squad, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Zack Ryder, Breezango, Natalya, Mojo Rawley, Dolph Ziggler. The returning Drew McIntyre, who came up from NXT. Baron Corbin, Mike Kanellis, The Ascension, Bobby Roode, and, as was announced on Twitter, Chad Gable. 3 guesses why he's over there. The first 2 don't count.
Yep. Well, they're both heels, so I could see that happening.
Yeah, works for me.
Because literally the only 2 people I got onto Raw from that were Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. I have the Riot Squad, but I don't really think they're going to do anything. Well, they might. I don't know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, people going to SmackDown include The Miz, which was announced on Raw, as well as Jeff Hardy, the new United States champion.
Mm-hmm.
Absolution, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Samoa Joe. The team of Sanity is being brought up, but just the dudes.
Yeah.
It was decided to have Nikki Cross remain down on NXT because of the lack of women down there right now. So Sanity will be coming up from NXT, plus Big Cass returned.
Mm-hmm.
Asuka's over there now. Lou Gallows and Carl Anderson, so goodbye to Balor's Club.
That really made me sad.
Cesaro and Sheamus, the Bar, and moved over there, as well as R-Truth, who didn't know what show he was on. And the call-up from NXT of the former NXT champion Andrade Cien Almas and his manager Zelina Vega.
I will say this, I think WWE fucked up royally.
Okay.
Think about who was moved between the shows.
Yes.
Look at the card for the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yes.
They just gave away the results to about half the card just by making moves.
Okay.
Well, the Bar's obviously not going to win. They're not even on fucking Raw. Why would they get the Raw tag team titles? The Miz is not going to win his rematch because he's not even on fucking Raw. Why would he get the Intercontinental title? That's stupid. Especially since they made the move to move Jeff Hardy over. The Intercontinental title is not coming over to SmackDown. It's not happening.
Except it might.
Unless they send the U.S. title back to Raw, but I don't know. We don't know who he's facing at.
Well, let's find out.
I would assume Jinder Mahal. But it's like, if the whole point was to have the U.S. title on Raw anyway, why take it off Jinder?
He is facing Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, so it could go back, but that'd be weird. It's like, oh, so you gave Jeff Hardy just so he could be considered a Grand Slam champion? Seriously?
Yes, they do that. Why do you think Seth Rollins won the Intercontinental title?
Yeah, I still don't see that happening, though. I think that'd be weird.
Yeah, just as a run-through, by the way, the card for the Greatest Royal Rumble is up as follows. It's the Greatest Royal Rumble match itself, which is a 50-man Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
It is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a cage match for the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
There is a fatal 4-way ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. That will include Rollins, Balor, Samoa Joe, and The Miz, so Joe could bring the IC title to SmackDown as well.
True.
AJ Styles versus Shinsuke for the WWE title. Jeff Hardy versus Jinder for the US title. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus The Bar in a tournament for the vacant Raw tag team titles.
Yeah, which the Woken Warriors are clearly winning. I mean, we never thought The Bar was going to win anyway, but now it's all but been confirmed. The Bar is not winning because they're not on fucking Raw.
Yep. The Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos for the SmackDown tag titles.
Yeah, they're probably going to retain.
Cedric Alexander versus a to-be-determined opponent for the Cruiserweight title. John Cena versus Triple H in a singles match, and The Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match.
Oh, we're going to have to do predictions tomorrow night after we score, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. The other thing that this screws up, I'm like, well, what was the fucking point? Is they had Joe come back and hype up this whole, I'm going to be waiting for you after Brock gets done with you, Roman, and I'm going to put you to sleep at Backlash. Boom, he's on SmackDown. It's like, well, how the fuck are you going to hype that up if they're on separate shows? Makes no goddamn sense. There's like literally no point to any of Joe's promos now leading up to the Superstar Shakeup.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally for nothing because you can't hype that feud up unless you put Roman Reigns on SmackDown, which they obviously didn't do. So it's literally pointless.
Or if Joe wins the Intercontinental title and that puts him back on Raw.
It could, but then why move him over?
To make it seem less likely that he's going to win and add drama when he does.
He could, but then does that mean the Superstar Shakeup isn't over? Because you can't just take Joe back and not put someone on SmackDown and screw SmackDown.
Well, that's true, which is why on the other side, you know, you'll have to see, I suppose. I mean, they could send somebody over, but then again, SmackDown got less people than Raw in the shakeup, so
I suppose
it would actually balance out. Because you gotta figure, Raw got 14 people in the shakeup. SmackDown only got well, actually, that's a lie. Hang on. Raw got, let's see, so that's technically, that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Raw got 20 people in the shakeup, whereas SmackDown got, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. SmackDown only got 16. So
then it would give SmackDown 15 if Joe went back.
Yeah, and Raw would drop down to 19.
I don't know. It just seems really stupid to move someone over only to send them back 2 weeks later. Like, the fuck?
They drafted John Cena just to draft it back by the end of the same show.
Yeah, but people like John Cena and Triple H, those are special cases. I'm sorry, Samoa Joe is not John Cena or Triple H.
No, but at the same time, WWE has been making a conceited effort recently to throw fans off about what's going to happen.
That's true.
They realize it was becoming very, very predictable because of the dirt sheets. They've been making a concerted effort to fool the dirt sheets and to have unpredictable shit going on.
True.
It would not surprise me at all, especially if they wanted to do that to make people think they knew who was going to win at the Greatest Royal Rumble. So it was that much more special for the Saudi people when unexpected title changes happened.
That's true. I would also put to you the Cena Triple H stuff, as you pointed out, was the same show. It wasn't, oh, Cena's just going to randomly show up on Raw, and then 2 weeks later at a fucking network special, all of a sudden, like, wins this match and gets drafted back to SmackDown. That's weird. But in the same show, okay. That's a little bit of unpredictability, and it's still part of the Superstar shakeup. It's like, okay, that's fair.
But Triple H did do it over multiple weeks because he got drafted, showed up on SmackDown, demanded that he be traded back, and made SmackDown trade him for 4 dudes from Raw.
That's true. But that's Triple H.
Yeah, but, you know.
I'd also put to you, he wasn't drafted on SmackDown. He was drafted on Raw. So it's not like he just randomly showed up on SmackDown and was like, well, I've been drafted.
No, he got drafted on Raw, then showed up on SmackDown the following week, then said, the hell with this, I want to go back to Raw, and made them trade him back to Raw, and he was back on Raw the following week.
Yeah, I also point out to you, they made that his storyline. Not a single one of these people have a I want to be traded back storyline.
True.
And that's the thing about that one is it was expected because it was his storyline. You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, but in all fairness, they can build up cross-brand storylines by just having Roman and Joe come out and just cut promos back. Like Roman comes out on Raw, cuts a promo on Joe. Joe comes out on SmackDown, cuts a return promo on Roman. They can do that. They've done it. Plus, realize, after the Greatest Royal Rumble, it's not like it's going to be that hard to do. Backlash is only a week away.
That's true.
There's only a week between the two events. It's only one of each show they have to get through before they face.
Oh, so we're going to have to do predictions 2 weeks in a row? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That sucks. Okay.
Because the Greatest Royal Rumble is on April 27th, and Backlash is on May 6th.
Fair. So what, they would just push that match as a cross-branded match then?
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, they might as well. Did you not see the music video about, hey, all the pay-per-views are cross-branded now. We're going to sing about it.
Yeah, that was a cool video. Still a fucking stupid decision, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree or not, but...
I don't know. I see why they did it. It depends on if they make it work or not.
It's WWE. Do they ever make anything work?
Occasionally. Anyway, let's move on. Pick a number.
What's left?
6, 9, and 11.
Let's go 11.
This is an interesting one. So WWE has some rather passionate fans. As you may or may not have heard.
Right.
So, for the duration of this next story, real quick, this is going to be a little special. All right. For the duration of the following story, my name is Nash, and welcome to What the Fuck Is Wrong With You?
Oh, brother.
Now, people are sometimes fans of things to a rabid point. You love something and you become passionate about it, but there's such a thing as taking it too far. And there's such a thing as not getting it through your head that you've taken it too far. WWE obtains emergency restraining order against crazy fan.
Okay.
Yeah. And once again, this actually fits into one of their wheelhouses, by the way. Which reminds me, if you don't know what we're referencing, go onto YouTube, look up Radio Dead Air, and watch their content. It's excellent. But as has been pointed out repeatedly, poop is not a plan.
Yeah. Or you could just go to their website and watch the content from there.
That too. But yes, poop is not a plan.
No, it's not.
So, WWE got an emergency restraining order against a crazed fan after he posted messages on his Instagram account in what was interpreted as threats against the company and its wrestlers. There's some backstory to this situation. The court documents show that Vince's company had a very real fear of this gentleman who'd been harassing the company since 2015. Apparently in repeated situations. And I just love this because I can set this up perfectly, and it's not what you think it is, but this is just kind of amazing. This gentleman's name. You with me over there?
Yep.
The name of this gentleman. This crazy fan, his name is Armando Alejandro Montalvo. He has been reportedly harassing WWE since 2015 and has several incidents against him, including an incident in July 2015 in which he smeared his own feces on the wall of the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida.
He was allowed into the Performance Center?
The exterior wall.
Oh.
He continued with more bizarre stunts in the days that followed, including showing up at the Performance Center wearing makeshift wrestling costumes, banging on doors, and threatening staff members. And on at least one occasion, he was subdued by the cops at gunpoint. They did actually shoot at him, though they did not hit him, and he was charged with multiple offenses for these incidents. That was back in 2015. Over several days, that happened. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this past March, he surfaced again at a WWE venue in Florida and began harassing employees, screaming, and I quote, "My new wrestling nickname is Generation Flex because my dick and balls is bigger than Generation X."
Does that even make any sense?
No.
Okay, it's just not me. Not just me then.
They said that they learned that he posted an Instagram message on April 4th, cryptically threatening WWE wrestlers and staff, and rushed to court to get an immediate restraining order against him because they fear he's a serious threat.
Wait, this guy the serial pooper?
No. WWE says Montalvo has also threatened to use his own semen in a biological attack.
What are you going to do, walk into the locker room and come on everything? What the hell? That doesn't seem like a very good idea, dude.
Court records show the restraining order was granted. Still, Montalvo continues to post videos on social media harassing WWE wrestlers.
I'd like to add, cum is not a plan to the repertoire here.
Now, also, after once again being ordered to stay away from WWE facilities, he was seen outside an NXT taping at Full Sail, which is the event that he surfaced at, uttering nonsense, harassing employees, and challenging Vince McMahon to a fight. He was able to drive off before security could confront him, but it was continuing in the weeks, and so they got the restraining order.
Okay, then.
So, yeah, that shit happened. Yeesh. All right. So, that's done.
Mm-hmm.
So the last two are kind of sort of the same subject, so we're just going to go ahead and hit those together.
Okay.
We did have some passings this week.
Yes, we did.
The first one we're going to talk about is former wrestler and manager Paul Jones.
Didn't hear that one.
Passed away at the age of 76. He was a fixture of the Mid-Atlantic territory throughout the 1960s and 70s and found success as both a competitor and a manager. He won the NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight title on 3 different occasions and formed championship tag teams with the likes of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Wahoo McDaniel, and Baron Von Raschke.
Okay, then.
When his in-ring career ended, he became a villainous manager, formed the Paul Jones Army, which included the likes of the Powers of Pain, Abdullah the Butcher, and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Nice.
So we send our condolences out to his family and friends and loved ones, and his fans, too.
Absolutely.
But that was overshadowed by a larger passing this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you heard about this.
The former living legend.
Indeed.
The now not-so-living legend.
Earlier this week, at the age of 82, we lost the longest reigning and probably greatest WWE champion of all time, Bruno Sammartino, WWE Hall of Famer.
Indeed.
Exact details were unknown, but he died peacefully after battling health issues for the past several months. So we wish all the friends, family, and fans of the champ well wishes and condolences in this time of pain. We certainly feel it too. I'm a little ashamed to say that prior to when he started resurfacing, or just prior to his Hall of Fame induction a few years ago, I didn't really know much about the man other than having heard his name.
Mm-hmm.
It was only in retroactively after that I started through WWE learning more about him and what an amazing champion he was back in the heyday of professional wrestling, going throughout the territories and holding that title for almost 10 years.
Yeah. So that means we're probably going to see an RIP Bruno thing on Raw, huh?
Oh, without fail.
Fair.
Without fail. It's I mean, just so many accolades did Bruno held. The class of 2013 International Sports Hall of Fame held titles in Maple Leaf Wrestling, won the Los Angeles Battle Royal and NWA Hollywood in 1972, voted Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Inspirational Wrestler of the Year in 1976. He had Match of the Year in 72, 75, 76, 77, and 80. Won the Stanley Weston Award in 81, was Wrestler of the Year in 74. And in 2003, he was ranked number 200 of the top 500 singles wrestlers of the PWI years. Joined the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum class of 2002, the Worldwide Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame in 2008. Of course, he held the WWF International Tag titles twice, once with Dominic DeNucci and once with Tony Marino. He was the United States Tag Team Champion with Spiros Arion. He was, of course, the WWF World Heavyweight or heavyweight, just regular heavyweight champion on 2 different occasions, plus entered the Hall of Fame in 2013, as well as being a tag team champ in World Wrestling Association Indianapolis, and being awarded Feud of the Year with Larry Zbyszko by Wrestling Observer Newsletter in 1980, and, of course, being entered into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame in 96.
Fair enough.
And, yes, for those who are not totally up on the listing here, where the hell is it? Where's the thing? Is there? Come on, I know this exists here. Where the hell? Oh, there it is down there. There we go. Let's see. So Bruno Sammartino was the second ever champion. Some people don't know that. The first champion was actually Buddy Rogers at an event in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And he won a fictional tournament after WWF left the National Wrestling Alliance, of which he had been the 7th NWA World Champion since defeating Pat O'Connor. But there was a whole to-do there. But it wasn't until April 11th that they recognized him as the first ever WWF champion. But WWE.com lists his reign and the establishment of the title beginning on April 25th. So April 25th, 1963 is when the WWE title was established for the first time. The same title that AJ Styles holds today, by the way.
Fair enough.
But yes, Bruno Sammartino won the title on May 17th of 1963 and held it for 2,803 days.
Yep, that's why he was called the Living Legend.
He was. It's just incredible, that length of a reign. I mean, he was the champ.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he held the title. That was from 1963 to 1971 that title was held.
Wow.
That's an 8-year reign.
Damn.
And then he won the title again in December 10th of 1973 and held that for 1,237 days.
How did that not get stale?
Easy. You have to remember, back in those days, there was no TV.
Yeah.
Everything was house shows.
True.
So yeah, you might hear about it in a wrestling magazine later or in the newspaper, but unless you were there, you weren't seeing it. So it was new to everybody that went to an arena to see it at all the different places. Granted, it was most of the time in New York at the Garden, but they did other places too.
Fair.
But yeah, 1,237 on that one. So equally impressive.
Indeed. You will be missed, champ.
Indeed. Bruno Sammartino will be missed. Wow, really?
Hmm?
That's kind of hilarious. I did not know that.
Okay.
That's amazing. I tried to click a link on something. So WWE does not have a 404 error page.
Okay.
WWE.com. They do not have, WWE.com does not have a 404 error page. They have a parts unknown page. Looks like you've taken a wrong turn. You're in parts unknown. Get out while you still can. There's a link back to the main page. And there's a nice picture image of with a big sign that says parts unknown. Like a vulture in a wrecked car and shit. Freaking Demolition is back there. Acid Smash. Papa Shango's right in the center, all big with his voodoo shit. There's a big building in the back with the Ultimate Warrior's face paint on it. The Ultimate Warrior is there. There's this other Viking-looking dude. I don't know who that is. I think that's Kane in the background, standing back there.
That's is the Undertaker on there?
He is not. He's not from Parts Unknown. He's from Death Valley.
That's true. Good point.
Well, that's still just hilarious that they did that. I love that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, Champ, you will be missed. Bruno Sammartino will forever be a legend and an icon.
Fair enough. Does that leave only one left that you have?
It does.
Okay, before you go into that, I have two quick ones.
All right. Knock it up.
So first, we'll go into the more inconsequential ones, although it could have ramifications for the greatest Royal Rumble. Do you remember how we've been talking about, especially with his return now, SummerSlam, Pork Laser versus the Bath Turd?
Yes, indeed.
And Lashley did say on Raw when he came back, he's here for unfinished business. Well, not on Raw, it was after Raw, it was an interview, but he said he's here for unfinished business. Well, a report has come out, and it's from Dave Meltzer, so heavy pinch of salt. But the report right now backstage is that there are currently no plans for that feud because with Bork Laser's new contract in place with the stipulations of he's allowed to fight for Dana White in the UFC, that Bork Laser won't be around for much longer before he has to go take off to do some fights, and then he'll come back later, which means he'll only be able to put over one, maybe two more superstars before he leaves for a while. And Vince McMahon, being Vince McMahon, is looking at Bobby Lashley and saying, "You're 41 years old. You're an old man. Fuck off."
Mm.
So, yeah, he's basically been saying, I want him to put over younger talent if he's going to be leaving, which could mean Reigns might be winning at the Greatest Royal Rumble if that's the direction they're going.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Because I would hazard a guess that the young talent Vince is referring to is Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So, we shall see.
Yep.
On that one. And now on to something a little more happy before we crush the hearts and dreams of children and women all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna head over to Hollywood a little bit.
Maybe some more.
That is correct. As he called himself, the brown bald tattooed man. His words, not mine.
Okay.
That is what he said. So, last Sunday, back on April 15th, was this Instagram? I think it's Instagram. It's a little video. Oh no, it's a Twitter. It's a video on Twitter. Okay, it's a Twitter video. From a Katie Kelsenberg, a senior in high school this year.
Okay.
Put up a video tagging The Rock. The Rock. Asking him to go to prom.
Ah.
And The Rock, seeing this, was like, wow, chick's got balls, because as he puts it, ladies always get shy in front of him. Like, even, big movie star women always get like shy and intimidated in front of him. So he was like, wow, chick's got balls. That's cool. Unfortunately, he is filming the new Disney movie, Jungle Cruise, so he's not available. Mm-hmm. However, he has decided to do something else because he likes young Katie's chutzpah. He sent a video to her. I don't know if it's a video, but he sent a thing to her high school that played over their intercom. So he basically hijacked the school's intercom via satellite because it's The Rock. basically calling her out. So, there was actually a little video afterwards that I guess was sent to The Rock, because he's the one that put this up. So I assume the school sent it to him, of her reaction. But basically saying, yeah, hey, I got your video. Unfortunately, I'm filming Jungle Cruise, so I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be available. However, what he has decided to do, because he was so impressed by Katie, is he's decided to rent out an entire theater in her town so that Katie and her closest 232 friends, probably most of the people in her school, and family can enjoy a special screening of Rampage. And all the free popcorn, candy, and soda high school kids can consume. Your money's no good, Katie. Everything is on Uncle DJ.
Nice.
So my assumption is he's going to be there too, and that's probably why he chose to do that, because he'd be available at that time to at least pop in and say hi.
Probably.
So kudos to The Rock for making the day of a high school senior who asked him to prom.
Well done, Rocky. Well done.
Yeah, so that's where I got the brown bald tattooed man, because that's how he referred to himself in that little audio thing over the intercom.
Okay. Why not?
Why not? It's The Rock.
Speaking of The Rock, by the way, that is now available. I encourage everybody to go out and pick up this movie.
What is this movie? Really?
This is Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. As you can see, The Rock is in it.
Yes.
So I encourage everybody to go watch it. If you like the original Jumanji, even if you didn't, go rent this movie.
It was actually good.
But especially, I enjoyed this movie.
Did it really feel like Jumanji at all?
Kind of. Yeah, I'll tell you about it after we're done recording. But
okay.
It's a good movie. Go enjoy it. They're already writing Jumanji 3.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's fine. It worked with the setup they did here. It actually works.
Fair enough.
But they did really well with this. There was one big continuity hole I'm a little pissed off at, but that aside, the acting is great. It's funny. It's enjoyable. I mean, it says something. I mean, this movie is... Who made this movie? This is... Yeah, this is a Sony movie. This is the highest grossing Sony movie of all time.
Really? Over like Spider-Man?
It beat Spider-Man.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, that was kind of a big deal.
Hang on, I gotta plug in. Okay, now it's not beeping at me anymore.
Let's go over to Sony Pictures Entertainment here real quick.
I find that hard to believe that beat out fucking Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man made the bank.
Well, let's see. Let's go back. There's a lot of sub-film divisions. That's the problem with this. But let's see here. Who is the actual... Which actual studio did this? This was under Columbia. Okay. Let's see. What did I say? Let's just do this. Let me, okay, I will make a slight adjustment to that.
Okay.
Jumanji is Sony's highest grossing ever film domestically. In the U.S. box office.
Okay. That's still surprising, but okay.
And pulled it off. It beats Spider-Man. Held that record, and it beat Spider-Man.
Wow.
It overtook... Spider-Man has owned the title for the last 16 years. Spider-Man made $403.7 million. Heading into the holiday season, this thing... they had a feeling that this would serve as a strong counter-programming to Star Wars The Last Jedi, which is a very dark movie, whereas this is a very light and funny movie. And it worked. This opened to a $71.9 million weekend over the 6-day holiday. And by the first weekend of January, stole the #1 spot from Star Wars. Because everybody went and saw Star Wars the first weekend, of course. But really, nobody was expecting a near $1 billion global haul. Yeah, Financial Sources report Jumanji will bring in an estimate, after all ancillaries back to Sony, $305.7 million.
Okay, then.
Which is impressive as hell.
That it is.
Yeah, domestic take this high. I mean, it's crazy. So far, let me see if I've read this correctly. Hang on. Yeah, this movie has thus far box office $950.9 million. That makes it the highest grossing domestic film of all time, overtaking Sony's domestically. Where's the actual breakdown on this? Box Office Mojo. Okay, so yeah, its domestic was 404, just over 404 million.
Okay.
So it by about $1 million it overpassed Spider-Man, and it's also that total 954.630 million actually makes it that says 951. Wait, is that accurate? Hang on. Oh, 954. Yeah, it's actually gone up, but it's still also the second highest grossing worldwide movie for Sony ever, second only to Skyfall.
Wow.
Which Skyfall made $1.1 billion.
That's another surprising number.
So, yeah. Now you see why they're writing a sequel already. This thing was huge. And it's an enjoyable movie. It's a fun movie. Mostly because of Jack Black. But still, it's a great movie. I'll tell you about it later. Everybody go see this movie if you like The Rock.
I did not know Sony owns the rights to James Bond. Fair enough.
Yes, they do. That is their production. It's through their it's through one of their sub studios, but yes.
Fair enough.
They're the Bond people. Anyway, let's go ahead and take this home. Yes. The big story of the week, as noted in the headline, is that John Cena and Nikki Bella have ended their engagement and relationship of 6 years. Us Magazine broke the news, saying a statement read, "While this decision was a difficult one, we continue to have a great deal of love and respect for one another. We ask you respect our privacy during this time in our lives." Now, there have been conflicting reports as to who actually initiated the breakup. The initial reports indicated that it was John Cena who initiated the breakup. According to an article in People, Cena got cold feet as the wedding drew closer, leaving his ex-fiancée heartbroken. They were going to get married on May 5th down in Mexico. Saying that she never gave him an ultimatum or anything. He talked a really good game about having changed, about having his priorities straight, about knowing what's important, and that was it, and that it was her. But as the day got closer, it was like he just went back to who he's always been, which is someone who puts himself first, always. He's an incredibly dedicated, driven, ambitious guy, and for the longest time, he said he didn't think he had room in his life for a spouse or kids. It seems like at the end, that was still the truth. But in that case, he never should have proposed, let alone in front of millions of people at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Now she's heartbroken. This was supposed to be the happiest time of her life. He ruined it, and everything blew up. However, a counterclaim was put out. That, in fact, Nikki Bella is not devastated. John Cena is a mess over this, and she instigated the breakup.
Okay.
They reportedly confirmed the fact that they broke up last weekend. A source told Us Weekly that although Nikki isn't happy with what happened, she's not devastated. They did say, however, that Cena, quote, is a mess, end quote, saying that she's in a place where she's just exhausted by some of the things going on in the relationship. John is the love of her life. She adores him. They still speak. It's just very hard. Right now, she has to focus on herself. There are more rumors regarding specific details of the breakup, including who was the one who broke it up and why they chose to and how both have left and dealt with the fact. There's a number of things here. John Cena put out some cryptic tweets about this, saying, "Sometimes we must bear the burden of shame and judgment to protect and give to the ones we love. #Rise Above Hate. Hardship, loss, and humility are extremely difficult waters to navigate, but perseverance through them builds a strength to withstand anything life throws in your way." Then there was a report that Nikki, of course, was the one who broke up the relationship. After initially running an article claiming it was Cena who called it off, in relationship with Nikki Bella, the People website is now claiming otherwise. The new article says they're claiming it was now Bella and not Cena who broke it up. According to Cena, according to the report, Nikki was fed up with John Cena acting like he was doing her a favor by agreeing to marry her, and that she felt that he wasn't a changed man despite the changes in his stance on marriage. saying that John acted more and more like he was doing her a favor by somehow conceding to go ahead and marry her, the source told People. Nikki doesn't need a pity proposal, a pity wedding, a pity husband. She's a phenomenal, tremendous woman. It's been well documented on both the Total Divas and Total Bellas reality shows that Cena has also been against the idea of having children, something that Bella was ultimately not ready to live with. When Cena proposed, he convinced Bella he was a changed man, and if he could change his mind about never wanting to get married, why wouldn't he change his mind about not wanting kids? They've had an on-and-off relationship for years. It's no secret they didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but when you're in love, you turn a blind eye. And that's what Nikki did, and when Nikki changed her stance about wanting kids, everyone knew that wasn't her. You can't take motherhood away from a woman. I think that depends on the woman. Not every woman wants kids. Let's not be make a sexist assumption here.
Yeah.
I can just say that to Roger real quick there. Then there was follow-up. Then there was, of course, the follow-up that it was. And then it was Cena who initiated the breakup, and so there's this back and forth about who actually initiated the breakup. So we don't really know.
Do you have the other part of that article?
Meanwhile, in addition to this, in a response to the article of People.com, which suggested that Brie Bella on one level wants to kill John Cena, quote unquote, she posted an image to her Instagram denying that outright, adding that Cena is family first and she'll always love him like a brother, and that she is simply hurting for both him and Nikki over the situation. She posted an image of the actual article with some red highlighting on it, which circle the part where it says Brie wants to kill him. Sure, false, with a big red circle around it. Then on the bottom, she added next to where it said Cena, it says it's selfish, but he knows that with his schedule, he couldn't be an incredible father, and that's why he chose not to have kids. And Brie added that I'd never say this. I'll always love John Cena like a brother. He'll always be family. My heart is hurting for he and my sister. #truth. Was there anything else I missed?
You missed the kind of heartbreaking but absolutely hilarious other tweet that John Cena put out.
Okay.
It was a tweet of Comic Book Guy.
Okay.
That says, worst day ever.
Yeah, that's about right.
Or like worst day of my life or something like that. And it's like, yeah, I can understand that, John. So, yeah, people, of course, are sensationalizing everything, and they're not actually doing their due diligence and research.
Of course. It's a celebrity breakup. That's how that goes.
To quote Nash, it's a sad, sad day when people like us are better journalists than people like people.
Yeah, pretty much. But alas, we wish John Cena and Nikki Bella both the best, and hopefully this works out for everybody in the end.
Indeed.
Oh,
also, in a cruel twist of, I guess, irony. I don't know if that's the right word.
Okay.
So this all happened this week, right?
Yeah.
So, like, shortly before this, like sometime last week, was it last week? No, it was WrestleMania weekend. This last WrestleMania. So Mattel decided, I think it was Mattel. Mattel's the one that does the WWE toys, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Mattel decided to give a little gift to the happy engaged couple.
Okay.
But it was Nikki Bella who got to see it because I think Cena was like preparing for his match against Taker and all that crap. So they made a custom, one of a kind John Cena proposing to Nikki Bella WrestleMania playset. Yeah, that's a thing, Jim.
Oops.
Yeah, and there's a video of Nikki Bella reacting to it too. Of course, at the time they were still engaged, so she was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," blah blah blah. But yeah, 1 week later, it's off. And it's just like, damn.
Yep.
Yeah, Mattel now has immortalized one of the more heartbreaking moments of Nikki Bella's life in toy form.
Yep.
Complete with John Cena on one knee with the ring and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's one of a kind. 2-figure pack with a WrestleMania ring, or part of a WrestleMania ring.
Of course.
I think right now there's only one of it, and I think like Nikki Bella, I think they gave it to her or something, so I think she has it. But
fair enough.
So yeah, there's that.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that
also, as a fallout from this, John Cena will not be appearing on Raw this week.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to be there because he's going to be weeping into a pillow.
Fair. Anyway.
The next time we will see John Cena is in Saudi Arabia.
All right, then. Sounds good.
Well, hopefully Triple H will beat some sense into him.
Well, we'll find out.
Let's go, Hunter.
Clap, 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 clap. All right. So with that, this has been the news. We thank you for joining us for another news log. And join us tomorrow night when we will do our usual shenanigans.
Indeed. With or without me.
Yep, we will have our recap, and we'll see where the scores stand following the Superstar shakeup. I'm James Phoenix.